All right. I stumbled on this video from Twitter, big business, uploaded, and it was Kyrie Irving. You know, he's on the season is shut down towards ACL, and he did it in crazy fashion. Tore that joint. Ooh, it looked so painful. And then he went to the free throw line in true Warrior fashion. That's how you ended his season. 2 free throws. Fire. So, Kyrie Irving being the spiritual person he is, on his journey back to recovering and making that physical and mental grind to get back to the NBA and to the game that he loves, he's been streaming and giving a lot of gems to the people that are watching him right now, the NBA community, basketball community, and just like the youngins that are watching him right now. And he had a lot of great things to say about his spirituality, his faith, his relationship with basketball, and just maintaining and retaining the purity of the sport and how it's covered. A lot of people that are covering the NBA, they don't have a lot of great things to say about the players, and they're really siphoning the great energy and sucking the life out of these players and not really covering the game and the players with love and respect. So Kyrie had a lot of really impactful things to say about this sport, the coverage of the sport, and how he wants to see this go forward and how he wants to see the culture maintain its purity. And I thought it was dope. I connected with a lot of it, and I'm just gonna play it.
Bad position.
If you haven't seen it, it's gonna be a good watch.
Bad position. And by the way, African Arthur, bro, I hate championship or bust culture because it diminishes so many legends like T-Mac, Vince, Penny Hardaway, and Allen Iverson. Bro, this is why I'm creating the culture that I'm creating now alongside my brothers and sisters that are doing it too, bro. We don't want to disrespect the legends. We do not give a fuck about what these I'm not going to even go that far, but we do not care about what
he thinking about. Like, if I go too far, they finna clip me to death.
These, I gotta make sure my words are correct because I know for a fact I gotta be nice about this. I gotta be kind about this.
And me as a content creator, sometimes I cover the NBA and I have this type of like outlook that I've never played basketball at a high level, and all these players make multi-million dollars. I'm just gonna clown, I'm just gonna clown and say all the funny shit that come to my mind. But I know what it's like to cover something with love and admiration and really dedication and that purity in my heart, because my first love is music. So this is a music channel, and I just cover the NBA because it's a fun pastime. But I have more passion when I cover music, and I hold a lot of the same values that Kyrie has when he talks about basketball. So I relate on that form. And maybe going forward, how I cover the NBA will change. But I'd like just getting on camera and making fun of millionaires. I really do. No harm, no foul. It's different when you're struggling. But that's not to say that they don't have a grind and they don't see it and they don't feel some type of way about it. But I look at covering music different than I look at covering the NBA.
I gotta say
because I have a different relationship, and that's probably what it is.
Then I gotta move on. All right, I gotta give y'all a real introspective look into my inner world, bro. If you're not out here playing and trying to be out here and like stay in shape, and you don't know the spiritual side of basketball, bro, stay the fuck away. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I get that.
If you don't have the spiritual sense of the connectivity to basketball, bro, the jogging, the running, the stretching, the team working.
You're talking about all the time to go into it, yeah.
The platforms that you can create through it, like the people that you meet along the road that help shape who you are.
Here's the thing, Kyrie, and I'm gonna let it play for the majority of this, and I'm not gonna interrupt it. I'm just gonna say these thoughts, and then I won't interject for a while, and I'll probably just say a lot of my thoughts at the end of the clip. I think the people that are covering, you have a few people they'll speak about your Kyries, your Kevin Durant's, Giannis in a joking manner, and they may say a couple things that they don't like. But I feel like the majority of the commentary that may be negative aren't for the ones that are hooping and going crazy. Yeah, you have the few. I know what it's like to, shit on LeBron. I understand that, and shit on Luka if they have a bad night and every now and then. But I believe 90 to 95% of the coverage of the people that are really superstars in this league, they don't get the same coverage as what we will call the bums in the league. They're not normal bums. They're NBA bums. You're not a bum if you're one of 250 players to play in this coveted league, right? We know that. I think that goes without saying. We shouldn't have to say that, right? We shouldn't have to say. If I call Gabe Vincent a bum. He's not a real life bum. He makes millions of dollars. He's taking care of multiple people in his family. We understand that. And this is Gabe Vincent before. Gabe Vincent's on a crazy run right now with my Los Angeles Lakers. But we say it for NBA standard. You're a bum if I'm comparing you to Kyrie Irving. You're a bum if I'm comparing you to Luka Doncic. You're a bum if I'm comparing you to Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Jokic. My point, but you're not a bum to the average person. You're very successful, ultra successful. But when Kyrie Irving talks about this, I think he's a spokesperson. He's talking about just everybody in general. Don't have shit to say if it ain't positive about the game I love. Because he's in love with that game. That game, like, not to be extra or to be dramatic about this, but this is the game that has saved his life. He was going through a lot of dark spots in his life, and this is the one thing that he had in his life that gave him that solace. I get it. I understand. All right, I'm gonna let it play.
It started off as friends, the AAU trips, the college trips, the professional trips, your favorite players getting their favorite jersey, everything down to what we appreciate about what people do in this culture. If there are people that are disrespecting it, stop making space for them. Just stop. I don't care what big corporations want to do with some of these mouthpieces. I don't care. But I'm gonna tell you this right now: the more that we get basketball in the right hands, doesn't belong to the media. It doesn't belong to the NBA players. It doesn't belong to the GMs. It doesn't belong to the owners. It doesn't belong to the fans at home. Basketball doesn't belong to any of us. This is literally a borrowed sport. The NBA basketball is only 77 years old. 78 years old. It's not that old.
Yeah, when you put it in perspective like that, I get it.
We treat basketball like it's tennis or like football. Like basketball is old in the sense of just 78, but like it's not that old. So all these rule changes, all the economics that have changed, all of the, you know what I mean? All of the
and y'all probably the first generation that's really, well, second. If you count LeBron as the one generation and then Kyrie or the generation after, we're about two generations removed from Braun. These last three generations, if the NBA 78 total years, within the last 15 to 20, y'all are making money like no one has ever seen from this sport. Due to the TV deals and the jersey sales and the endorsements, all this money that y'all making, and the culture's changing and who you're impacting and how you're being perceived and seen. This is new territory. So what Kyrie has to say, even though it's 78 years, and 78 years is a long time, a lot of the things that these players are being criticized about, there has been no blueprint for. There has been no blueprint for. Like if you think about just even the NBA documentary, or the professional sports documentary, because it included football as well, not just basketball. Remember Broke? And that was just world changing for people to see that how people are making millions of dollars, and within 5 years of their playing career, them finishing their playing career, they're broke. They're back to the trenches working regular jobs and trying to make a living in blue collar work. Just that concept alone was mind blowing, and that wasn't that long ago. Wouldn't Broke come out like 10 years ago? So when Kyrie's putting this in perspective, and he's gonna later talk about in this clip about just like, who are you after this life ends? Who are you going to be? What type of morals and what type of discipline you're going to have now that you're making all this money, that is going to be hard for you to have a sustainable life once this professional life ends, because it's not going to last forever. Who are you going to be when it's all said and done?
The media attention that's come, that's turned this into an international game. Over the last few years, if you've noticed, why are the people that talk shit about basketball the most popularized people that are able to talk about this? Why is everybody afraid to call them out?
It happens in my craft too, Kyrie.
Not afraid to call them out in the sense of like, say, go to their face. But I'm saying, why are we afraid to call them out as a group?
It happens in music
They don't
too.
belong in our culture. Let them be in their culture. Let's protect basketball in a way where it's not, of course, it's a game that we play. It's a child's play game, right?
I have a contrarian opinion that the media is a culture within this culture. It has its own culture already. just the more popular, you see the more popular people. You see your Stephen A. Smiths. Um, you see your what's the brother's name? Beecham, whatever. You see your Lowe's. And you see the content creators and the people that are, your Malika Andrews. You see your Skip Baylesses. You see your Jalen Roses. You see these people like that. Your pardon your interruption guys. Your around the horn guys. You mean at Kimes. Exactly. You get what I mean. You see these people that have the loudest and the biggest platforms. However, there could be a content creator that maintains the purity to what you're speaking of, but they're not going to be rewarded and incentivized in the same way. We're only going to do what's winning. We're going to do what's winning as content creators. It happens in music as well, or as entertainers, or as writers, or whatever. Because nobody likes being broke, Kyrie. If everybody else is winning, doing the thing that you're saying is not pure, but I want to maintain the purity and I'm broke and starving, I'm starving. And nobody's helping me out, but everybody else is doing the one thing that y'all hate, but they're making mad money from it, and you're making mad money from it too, and the only common denominator is me trying to maintain the purity that you really don't give a shit about anyways because you're not watching. I got 50 views, 30 views, or whatever on my channel. I'm gonna go make my money. I'm going to make my money. And of course, it comes with repercussions and consequences because all of our decisions come with consequences. But Kyrie, at large, we are not incentivized by anything other than controversy. And that's just us as human nature. If you think about it's like the bad car accident on the road. We're going to stop to see what happens, to be nosy and report on what happened. We're just going to do that, right? But how many people are really being virtuous and altruistic and helping your communities and doing things like that and landing on the sword? If we're seeing the people like you, right? For instance, just use Kyrie Irving as an example. He uses his platform to speak about some of the things about human values and this, right, that, and you're vilified for it. They wanted to strip your NBA career from it. You wanted to talk about religion and all these different things, and you cited something from a book on Amazon instead of them holding the people at Amazon for selling and even broadcasting and giving a platform for you even to discover the book. It should be banned completely, and people that carry it should be held accountable. You were the only one held accountable, and they almost stripped your career from you and took you from the NBA 75 list. I'm not going to be incentivized to do what I'm just not. It just is what it is.
But let's stop letting people just get in.
But you holding a good
stuff.
You're holding a good point.
Without having a real tangible feel for it. You're not even studying the spiritual side. You don't even care about the guys who came or the girls who came before you. I'm good off that, bro. That's why I stay to myself. I love the things I love, right? And then I talk to who I talk to. Other than that, you're going to have to make up your judgment without knowing me. And I don't care.
And that's the media holding judgment or writing something because we do not have access to y'all. And it's always been, and when from newspaper age, it was the opinion column, the op-ed column. When you get a direct source and you're lucky enough to be in that position, but you also have to play politics to even get access to you. I have to be able to be PR for you. I'm not really, and there's all things that come with that. Like just having direct access to you comes with something that I can't even report what you may view as something that's not representing your brand in the same light. But this can be an objective piece. And by me choosing to stick to my guns and be objective, it may come with some comments that you may view as disparaging. But guess what? I have an obligation to the people as a writer or a commentator, and they may respect the fact that I kept it a buck with them on how I feel about you. And you may think that it's a cancer to the sport or cancer to you as a player, an active player, and it's two sides of the coin.
I literally tell people this all the time in interviews. Like, basketball was a pain reliever for me until I went and got help for myself. You know what I'm saying? Basketball became like my brother. my sister. Like it became something that I carried with me everywhere. I didn't let anybody disrespect it. I didn't want anybody to, um, you know, I didn't let anybody violate this because I had to protect it. You know what I mean, I just think controversy, like somebody said, Doom 121 said, controversy will always be what drives entertainment. Unfortunately, it's right. It's right. Controversy drives the clicks, but let's stop allowing people to come into our culture, our spiritual game, and tell us what's right and what's wrong. And I'm talking to some of the former players too. They have lost their way. I will say their names when I address them, when I see them in person. But there are some former players that just be talking chat shit on like, you don't.
Let me ask a question for the public. In this particular point, oh, my camera's like doing the crip walk. I gotta fix that. Still look a little crazy. I look a little crazy. All right, that should be better. That bitch gonna end up falling. I don't change that. Anyways, the point I was gonna make is that this particular point does not really concern Kyrie because you led the league in minutes played. If not led the league, he was top 3. But what like in terms of having a word and not having a word, who really gets to dictate that? It seems like it's a free. It's open. That's the whole point of not having a monopoly on media. And while the quality, in your opinion, may take a hit because the barrier to entry is so low, but that's the whole point of a free market. And what I mean by this is that if I have an opinion and I've never participated in what you've said that would ultimately strip me of the right of commenting on players in NBA media, what if I have an opinion that I have a problem with y'all load managing and taking and taking nights off when you're not injured, you're not in a serious injury, and you're getting paid millions of dollars, and you want to load manage for whatever reason, whether it be to tank for your team's benefit or you want to load manage for the playoffs. However, right? And I feel like that is directly impacting the quality of the NBA and the product in which I'm participating in for you even to get this big of a check, right? I'm just as a part of the process, not more a part of the process than you, but I am a part of the process as a viewer. The NBA is a product. Now, your emotions, your feelings, and everything involved, your work ethic, the blood, sweat, and tears, your dedication and determination is something that I will never experience in this direct forum, in this direct channel. But the outcome, the bright lights when you come and perform and I watch it and the people in the stands pay money to see you and you're not available, not you personally, you tore your ACL and you played a lot of minutes for the Mavericks this season. But if you're not there and I came to watch you as a fan and I find out you sat down for a Mickey Mouse ass reason, I'm going to hold you accountable.
Don't even be talking.
Do I have the right to that opinion or not?
Players, and then you got young players looking up to these older players, and we see them as, I'm not gonna call them my idol, but we looked up to them, right? We valued their journeys, we respected their journeys, we wanted to get close to them. And then when you see somebody that you respect like that and admire go on TV and talk about your journey as if it's just some, oh yeah, this just happens to you all the time, just get over it because you make a bunch of money. I'm so sick of that fucking.
But what if I think you have a Mickey Mouse ass reason for why you're not getting your ass up and continuing to work, being in a privileged position that you are? Why is that such a bad opinion? This is not pertaining to Kyrie. I have nothing but great things to say about Kyrie. Even when it felt like you didn't want to hoop anymore when you were on the Brooklyn Nets, it just felt like your spirit was taken. But that's for reasons that you're allowed to feel that way, right? And you were still coming out on crazy splits. You were averaging like 50, 40 on 90 from the line. Like, it was ridiculous. You were killing. You were outstanding as a player. But other players do not take this sport as serious as you take it. And I feel like I have a right to call them bums. I do. I have a right to call them bums. I don't give a fuck about your journey. No, I don't respect your journey because the outcome is shit. It's shit. That's why I can call you a bum. Because I can see with my eyes that you don't take this shit seriously. Not you, Kyrie, but other players.
Excuse, bro, that you're not allowed to feel because you make a lot of money in the NBA and you get paid. And oh my gosh, like people on Twitter,
that's not what we're saying.
Crucifying people that are making millions of dollars.
You're allowed to feel
because they're injured or they're not the same player that they were last year because they're injured. Y'all don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Y'all clearly don't. And a lot of the media people that are on TV don't either. You may have insiders, you may have people that you look to give you information, but you don't know what's fucking going on. So whether it's from 1v1 to 5v5, I'm here as a protector. I'm not about to let people just keep coming in our culture and disrespect this shit as if they have, like, they not getting paid from it. You got people that are talking shit about the culture but get paid from it. I'm good, bro. That whole relationship is done. Racism, the stereotypes that come with this too, that this being a black only sport.
Y'all all can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't make millions of dollars and be lazy. Make millions of dollars, not show up for practice. Make millions of dollars, gain all this weight, and that's the reason you got injured. We talking about you're not the same player, but how did you get injured? Was your conditioning off? Did you spend the off season not practicing and working on your game? Were you in the club popping bottles? You was having your way with all these IG models and all these, and you was spending a wild, exorbitant amount of money on these whores that don't give a shit about you. And you want me to have some empathy? That makes $60,000 a year? Not gonna be able to do it. Not gonna be able to do it, Kai. I'm not.
Black bodies are only ones that could be good at basketball. Then you have white people, and you know, thinking that this sport is just a black run sport. Of course, yeah, there are a lot of people that are playing that are black, but that doesn't mean that we dismiss all the other races that want to be a part of this too. And obviously, black and white are just colors. Those are not nationalities or full-blown races, right? But I'm saying that when we describe it in black and white terms like that, it has a way of separating us. Like, oh my God, he's nice for a white boy. Oh my gosh, he
that motherfucker Austin Reeves is nice for a white boy. Nah, Austin Reeves is nice. Period. I see what you're pointing. I see your
into
point.
it for a white boy. Like I don't participate in those type of conversations, but at the same time, they're there. Oh, he nice. He trying, and it's not a large portion, right, of white people in the league, but at the same time, basketball is a colorless sport, y'all. It's a colorless sport. Now, do the opportunities matter if you're black or white? Absolutely, they matter.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say that. I was gonna comment and interject, but
it's still racism in basketball. I'm not about to be dumbed down to the fact that there's not racism in basketball. There's racism in the NBA still too. There's religious intolerance. There's cultural intolerance. Like, there are a lot of things that go on, not just in the NBA, but in our social world that is integrated into the NBA. So when I speak on these things, don't think I'm trying to jump off and go off on this tangent and talk about race, but it deserves to have a space to talk about because I'm cool with a lot of different cultures and races because I play basketball. It's true. Like, you can call people black and white all you want, but that's not their nationality. That's not their cultural reference point. You know what I mean? Not everybody identifies as that. So when
you want us to see you as individuals and not part of a product. Oh my God, here goes this weak ass shit go again. You want us to see you as individuals and not part of a product. That's understood. I agree. I agree with
have that going on. Oh, he nice for a white boy.
I agree with that.
Oh man, I wonder. He's a black player. I wonder if he comes from the hood. I wonder if he comes from the trenches. I wonder if he has both parents in the household. I know all the stereotypes that comes with being an Afro man or indigenous man playing in the league, and everybody thinks that you're either a jock, you dumb as shit. Don't even get me started on what people say about athletes all the time, especially basketball players. They think we're dumb as shit. They think we don't have any real backbone when it comes to beliefs that's going on. Or
a lot of y'all is dumb as shit, though. Like, you know what I mean? Kyrie's an outlier and an exception to the rule. but a lot of y'all's dumb as shit. Like there's a lot of educated ones, and I think the educated ones, at least in this form of observation, we would highlight y'all as the successful ones, because smart does not just, the smart, I think smart translates, it's a part of an ingredient to your performance and your success in this league, because you have to be smart with your time management, your energy, and who you're allowing in your life, what you choose to do in your off time, how you choose. Like, these are all calculated and smart decisions to extend your window in the NBA. Barring like a serious traumatic situation that cut your life or your career short, a lot of these careers, especially those from people that are like, you were touted to be like one of the greatest players ever, or at least a formidable player, and you end up not living up to those expectations. A lot of these can be traced back to poor decision making, work ethic, and discipline. And you weren't smart and diligent with your time. A lot of players in the NBA are not, in my opinion, this is not a fact. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, if I'm observing you with a close eye and I've been watching the NBA all my life, there are certain things that I have a right to comment on. And there's other things I don't. Yeah, I don't have a right to comment on what I don't know and what I can't see with the culture of the players and what goes into it. That's a fact. But other things, I feel like we do have a right to speak on.
We're standing for people that need us. They feel like we don't have any backbone. You have politicians that call us out all the time because they're like, well, just shut up and dribble. Just do this. Just do that. Just do that. And okay, that's your criticism. But how am I supposed to make a dent in the world if I'm always being suppressed? If my voice is always being suppressed? If you always trying to shadow ban my platforms when I'm talking
that
truth,
happens too.
Or you try to make it seem like I'm this weirdo, or I'm this person that doesn't have a head on my shoulders as an intellect. Like, I can't question things that's going on.
And you're going to have to prove yourself. All of us have to prove ourselves. All of us, to be taken seriously. All of us have to. We don't respect, as a culture, at least in this country, I can't speak in any other countries, we don't respect the process of you getting there until it shows results. Like the shit that Jaylen Brown is going through, he's getting a lot of criticism, but he's standing for something. And a lot of people do respect the effort and the actual process. I'm not gonna say nobody does, but Jaylen Brown gets a lot of flack, just like you. And the things that, this is what comes with it. This is what comes with being an intellectual, an orator, a liberator, all these things that are great qualities, great human. And these are things that will live long after basketball, because there's players that have played shit while you've been playing. Since what's your draft classes? 09? When did you come in, Kyrie? Like 08? 08, 09? Maybe 2011. I'm thinking your draft class of 2011. There's even players that have fallen off, we've forgotten about since then. And if we don't remember players from 14 years ago, we damn sure don't remember players from 50 years ago. What extends our memory of you is what you have contributed to lives as a human and what you've done to impact lives beyond basketball. And you're doing that right now, but you're taking a hit because your livelihood is connected to a product that needs to keep a certain image, because how you are directly paid is really the big is through jersey sales and TV deals. Is why you're receiving this big money. That's the reason why you're receiving this big money. So you cannot make any comments to jeopardize what you're being attached to. If you were an independent free thinker and you were no longer in the league, you would be able to make a lot of these comments, as long as it falls within the terms and service of what the platform that you're speaking on. We still have to fall in line with the terms and service. If your statements violate the terms of service of Twitch, of YouTube, of whoever these platforms are, they have a right to ban you, delete your account, and suppress the reach of your comments. If you want to speak freely, free speech comes with restrictions. There is no free speech. Like true free speech doesn't exist. But if you want to get as close as you can to free speech, you need to make your own platform. And then you'll see how hard it is to really get your voice out there, I think. But continue. Let's continue.
I'm turning 33 tomorrow, and I want to let y'all know over the past 5 years, I've had to build my armor to get to this point to be able to speak like this. Because I know these things will be clipped up. I know these things will resonate for the next week or so, right? But I want to make sure I get my truth off in a way where I centralize the issue to not being about all of the negative aspects and all of the negative tropes, and then transmute that into positivity and changing the narrative.
And I respect the effort, Kyrie.
A very universal spiritual side of basketball and how we're connected. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Again, I don't want to make money from streaming, like, you know what I mean? And just be like on here all the time and be streaming. And I have no problem with my streamer brothers and sisters, like, because I want them to make money. I want them to put on for their families. But I'm in this to continue to grow and be a connector for these youngins. They're getting hundreds of thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of, you know what I mean, millions of followers, and they're getting access to the entertainment industry. I've been in the entertainment industry, integrated into it since I was 19, 20 years old, right? I've seen a lot that I will never speak on, but there are things that I choose to speak on now. I saw the writing on the wall a long time ago. You know what I mean? I just didn't know how to vocalize it. I was that person that accepted the negative stereotypes. I was that person that was leaning into the quote unquote trench baby image, wearing all the chains, wearing all my shit, wearing all my wealth, you know, trying to have a bunch of ladies on the roster, right? Trying to treat ladies with disrespect, treating myself with disrespect initially. But I'm talking to all my young men out there, you know, laying down and being with a bunch of shorties, bro. I'm just being honest with you, man. Like, that ain't it. Like, you know, you may be a polygamist, you may go into multiple relationships, cool, but have a respect for the women. But if you building something for yourself for the long term and sustaining it, you need a good woman or a good man beside you. I don't know everybody's sexuality and stuff like that, so I'm just being gender neutral. I'm just saying that there is a moment in time where you got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, yo, the NBA won't last forever. Who the fuck am I going to be? Right? So one-on-one, by the way, as I bring it back, one-on-one helped me find myself. Just stop letting people come into our culture telling us what to do. Sick of that shit. And I'm sick of these former players talking shit, bro. I'm tired of it.
Well, that's not going to stop anytime soon because, like I said earlier in this video, they're incentivized by those that are winning. And you're only going to see more former players enter into this forum. So your voice is loud, but it's not the loudest at the moment, unfortunately. But there's some people that will take heed to your message and try to make an active change. But although I respect your thoughts, I really do. You have a lot of salient points in this. I just don't think it's realistic at this point in time, unfortunately.
Out of this gossip culture. Fucking tired of it, bro.
Because this type of media was here before you even got into the NBA. So it's not going to be it's not going to stop while you're in the NBA. And it likely won't stop when you make your exit from the NBA.
Put some twisty fingers in the air, man. Let me know if y'all feeling me. If I'm chatting shit,
no, I'll put it in. I feel you. You're not chatting. It's just I feel like I've made enough counterpoints for food for thought, and I might be chatting shit. You know, I don't think you chatting shit, but whoever watches this right now may think I'm chatting shit.
Me no. But if I'm telling the truth, put some twisty fingers.
You telling
in the
truth?
Bro.
I agree. I agree with you.
I'm telling you. And again,
I agree with you and I disagree with you.
I have no problem with people criticizing. No problem. But
Okay.
it's the people that go too far. I don't got time for that.
And I guess what you mean by too far is attacking your character, family,
Appreciate
morals.
y'all, man.
I
That's
get
all
you.
leaving
I
shit,
get you.
man. That's hey y'all tribe shit, bro.
I get you.
Real talk. I appreciate y'all feeling me, man. That's love right back to y'all.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. All right. You let me know what you think about all this in the comment box down below. And let me know what you think about anything you think what he has to say will be implemented by former players and people covering the media and things like that. Like, do you think that will happen? Do you think that it's going to just be the same song over and over again? You let me know. Steve Levino's always, I'll be safe. Shwee.